What is going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Hope you all are having a fantastic day today. Today, we are going to talk about words that matter and how the words that we speak and that we put into existence can impact our life, can impact our output and training. I'm Coach Morgan from Function Health Club, if you do not know me. So, I love this quote from Gandhi that says, your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. This really resonates with me because it starts with this idea of these things that are in our head and the beliefs that we curate in our mind can truly impact the output that we have in our life, let alone the output that we have in our training. And that's where I'm going to focus today on, is the output in our training. So I want to start with a question. Which is, what can you do today that you were not capable of a year ago? What can you do today that you were not capable of a year ago? Once you've identified that thing, I want you to then ask yourself, what words changed? What words changed over the last year that helped you, impacted you, influenced you to be able to do the thing that you were not capable of doing a year ago? Because here's the thing, I hear it so often in my day-to-day as a coach, be it clients that are pursuing fitness and health goals, be it coaches that are pursuing leveling up their business and improving their coaching abilities. There are words that are used on a regular basis and statements made that create these beliefs and thoughts about ourselves in which we become accustomed to the idea of not being good enough, capable enough, or worthy enough. One such thought and one such statement that comes to mind is the idea of, oh, I just did blank. Oh, it was just 135. It was just one pull-up. It was just whatever thing. It was just, but it was only just one push-up that I did. You see, we tend to discount our output so quickly purely because of the perceived volume of work that we did, perceived level of work that we did. And so I ask you again, what can you do today that you were not capable of a year ago? Because if you weren't capable of a push-up 1 year ago, then that just one push-up is a huge thing. That's a huge improvement. You have now done one thing, one rep of something that you could not do before. You should celebrate the hell out of that, because that is a fantastic achievement. Because the only way for us to get to 2, and to 3, and to 4, and to 10, and to 20, and to 100 is to do one, and then to do another one, and then do another one. So why is it that we discount our ability to do that one in the first place? Or when we lift a certain weight, it's just 135. Other people are doing like 200 or 300 or 155 or whatever the hell it is. And were you capable of doing that a year ago? No? So then why aren't we celebrating that? Why aren't we acknowledging ourselves for that? If we weren't capable of doing it a year ago, why are we going straight to the negative for ourselves as far as our capabilities and downing on ourselves right away when we just did something fucking awesome? We just did the thing. We just lifted a weight we've never lifted before. So then why are we all of a sudden just downing on ourselves? Now, there's some obvious deeper layers that we have to look at within ourselves. Like, a lot of this stems from childhood and how we were raised and our parents and the surroundings that we have, the environments that we grew up in. And Anyone that spent any time with me knows how big I am on environment, how big I am on curating and creating your environment to be conducive to your growth. So what is it that's spurring you to doubt yourself upon achieving something? What is it that's spurring you on to downplay your accomplishments? I did this a lot for many years. I would achieve something and I would immediately just downplay it. I would immediately just go to this place of, yeah, but blah. And that's another one. That's another statement. Yeah, but fill in the blank. Yeah, but so-and-so can do it faster. Yeah, but it's not this. Yeah, but it wasn't that pretty. Yeah, but. And did we still do the thing? Are we still stepping forward? Are we still improving? Because, yeah, but it may not be perfect. It may not be the full thing yet. It may not be the weight that you were striving for. But it's still doing the damn thing. It's still showing up. You're still being present and putting in work. So why doubt on yourself? Why diminish those accomplishments? Why allow yourself to go towards the negative when you could allow yourself to go towards the positive? It's a choice. It's a choice that we have. It's a choice that we can make. So when you do accomplish something, when you do perform an action that you've never done before, that you weren't capable of doing last year, last month, last week, before saying, yeah, but, or, oh yeah, but it's just this, pause and acknowledge to yourself, I did the thing. I lived that way. I did one rep of this thing I've never done before. And then ask yourself, what changed? What allowed me to get here? Because I can guarantee if I really asked all of you to think about that, you would all say that, yeah, you are proud of yourself for doing that thing. And then I'm sure you might follow it up with, but it's this, and it's just not, strong enough yet, or it's not very good. Yeah, okay. So we have to provide ourselves the ability to start somewhere and to step forward from somewhere. And every rep that we do, every small little tiny increase in weight that we were able to lift is a further cementing of the platform in which we can step up and continue to grow from. So again, what can you do today that you were not capable of a year ago? When you identify that, when you do a thing that you were not capable of a year ago, watch to see what your next step is or your next statement is. And if it's towards the negative, I challenge you to acknowledge that, to own that, and then to go, okay, no, I am proud of myself for doing that one rep. I'm proud of myself for lifting that weight. And acknowledge what changed in this last year, this last month, this last week. What words changed in my mind that allowed me to lift that weight, that allowed me to do that push-up, that allowed me to do that pull-up? What changed? Were the statements in your mind that you're conscious about, did you start telling yourself something different? Did you start telling yourself, no, I can do this? Did you start telling yourself that, hey, I've been consistent, I've been putting in the work? What was it? What have you done? Because the words that you put in your mind will have an impact on your output. If you tell yourself you are weak, your brain is going to work its damnedest, its hardest to fulfill that thought. If you tell yourself you're strong, your brain is going to work the hardest to fulfill that thought. So tell yourself these positive statements. Acknowledge yourself for the moments that you struggle. But don't sit in this place of doubting and downing on your output, no matter how small that perceived output is. Doing one of a certain movement, one rep of something in your life that you've never done before is a fucking huge deal. Pardon me. It is a very big deal. And you should acknowledge yourself for that. So take the time to think about the words that you use on a daily basis. Write them down. This is an ongoing process for yourself. When you achieve something, have a list that you create of words that come into your mind and just write them down without judgment. See what you say. See what's the common themes whenever you accomplish something in your life. It could be training related. It could be just life related. Write down the statements and the words that you say when you accomplish something. See what the themes are and the similarities are. And then address that and look at that to see, is there opportunity for you to restructure the statements that you make? Is there opportunity for you to restructure the words that you use when you accomplish something, when you do something, when you go about your day? Because again, if we continue to tell ourselves something specific, like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this. That's too much weight. I'm not going to be able to lift that. Guess what? Majority of the time you won't. And if we happen to have a time where we do, we often don't give ourselves credit for it. We often just throw it under the rug as, that was a one-off, a fluke. I won't be able to do that again. So let's work on changing that vocabulary. Let's work on changing the way that we respond to our achievements and our successes. Let's work on acknowledging ourselves and showing up in a proud state for ourselves when we do accomplish something, no matter how small, no matter how small the action is. We're too often trying to always celebrate these big things, thinking that the only way we have time to celebrate something and to give ourselves some credit for something is when it's this big, huge achievement. When in fact, the more that we celebrate the little things, the more that we celebrate those small little successes, the more we're going to accomplish bigger, exciting things. So be conscious about what you're putting into your head. From the words that you speak aloud to the thoughts that run through your mind. Be conscious of those things. Give yourself a drive to learn about your circumstance. So this means being conscious about the words and the statements you make to yourself in those moments. And be present enough to push yourself towards learning from those moments. Learning from achieving something and then why you doubt yourself right after, why you use the yeah, but statements or it's just this statements. Because I promise you, if you start changing those vocabulary, if you start changing those statements that you make after you achieve something, no matter how small, you will see a greater impact of success on your training and on your life. And the last thing is around other outside influence, because the words that we absorb from others and from what we see, what we scroll through every single day, those have an impact on us as well. So don't let others' thoughts or those words from others impact you and influence you. Yes, it takes work. It takes a hell of a lot of work. But if you put in that work to create boundaries for yourself, and so what you absorb, what you consume in your external environment is more conducive to you, and you curate that environment to be filled with things that actually push you forward. It doesn't need to be all woo-woo, hyped up, positivity all day, every day. It can be challenging thoughts and challenging statements, people that challenge you, words that challenge you, but curate that environment to be conducive to your growth. Curate that environment to be things that you are conscious about looking at and going, I know I'm not that person, but I admire their dedication. I want to work on myself to be that dedicated, that motivated, that whatever, fill in the blank. But be open to learning, be open to changing yourself. I've talked about it before about training as behavior change. It's much deeper than just moving weight and doing reps of stuff. It is truly behavior change that allows us to grow. And that starts with the beliefs and the thoughts that run through our mind and the words that we put out into the world. So observe those words, observe those thoughts, observe those beliefs, and see where you can make some changes to better yourself so that the impact that you have on yourself through those words can lead to a greater impact in your training, in your health, in your life. Have a fantastic day. Function better.